Hi, my name is Dimitri. How are you? So this is going to be my second Flatiron project, and it's called Applications Lister. Okay, so let's break it down. Like first, we're going to talk briefly about the file structure. So I have four controllers over here. Right? So it's the application controller, applications controller, sessions controller, and users controller. They're all plural, except the first one, which is application control. It's the main one. Over here, this means inheritance. So we're inheriting from Sinatra base. In here, we're doing quick configuration. We're setting the public folder to public, the views to app views, which is I'm gonna show it to you briefly. So it's app views to this. So saves a little bit of typing. We're setting the sessions to true, so we can use sessions, so we can assign cookies and things of that nature. Um, we're setting the session secret to an environmental variable and naming it session secret. And we're also using something known as method override and setting it to true. So this what this what this does, excuse me, is it provides us with additional methods and forms, so we can update and delete. Okay? Um, so the private methods here, they're all instance methods in here, and so this one is going to find current user, and it's going to take in the session ID as the argument. And this one is called logged in. What this is going to do is, well, number one, it's going to avoid a nil because a nil with an exclamation mark to the all the way to the left means the opposite of. So nil exclamation mark nil means true, and another exclamation mark true will make it false. So number one, we're gonna find out if user is logged in, and number two, we can avoid having a nil response. Okay, and we use this for conditional logic. And over here, we have a method called redirect if not logged in, which is um, it finds out if a user is logged in. So it calls upon this method over here, and we're using Flash, which it provides us with messaging after um, the the responses that are completed. It temporarily holds the message, so um, it's sending this message and then deletes it, clears it. And what the redirect request refer, what this does is it takes the user to the previous page that they were on. Okay. Um, over here, I think I skipped it. We register Sinatra Flash so we can um, use Flash-based messaging. Okay. So the second application, the second controller is the applications controller, and so what this does is it it manages my applications, as opposed to the sessions control the login, logout, and the user's controller. It renders the empty form and creates a user. Okay, so let's talk about this one. So this over here, the applications controller. Um, to get applications, it's the index, and what it does is it shows all the applications, right? In the new one, it renders a blank application for a user to fill out. This one is it takes the information that was inputted by the user and attempts to create it. Um, we first run build here because we want to run validation here to find out if it saves. So over here, in order for this save to go through, all of this has to be valid, and it has to be valid the way I specified it to be valid. Like for instance, the GitHub link has to be a GitHub link. It can't be any URL. The title has to be unique and some things of that nature. And if it's not valid, it takes the user back to this page. Okay. This show it um, shows one application. This edit it um, only works if the person that wants to edit is the person that created it, right? And so this provides the form, and this kind of submits the form that the changes that they wanted to be made. And if it's successful, they get this message. If it's not, they go back here. And here's a delete destroy one. Basically, delete just deletes the app, and destroy, it's a delete plus deleting all the associations. Okay, and over here we have the private method, and so what set application does is it we have a find by ID that takes a value, and we could also do find by ID. Um, we can provide a key value or do it like this, and this is pretty much self-explanatory. Okay. This one, authorized application, takes an argument to find out if the person that made the application is the same as that current user. Okay. The sessions, as I mentioned previously, is the logging in and logging out. The user control manages um, to create a new user. Okay. So this renders the form. This creates the user. Okay, we have two models, the user model and the application model. Okay. The user model, I have a method here, has secure password, so it checks that the user's password is um, good. It validates, it makes sure that um, a username exists and it's unique, so we're not going to have two users with the same username. And over here we're specifying that the user can have many applications, and that user's foreign key is developer ID. Okay. Um, and over here um, is the second model. It's we're specifying that it belongs to developer and the class name user. And we're pretty much specifying that it's user and not developer, right? Um, because yeah, in order to um, access it as a user, because if we don't put this and we only put this, it would look for a class name of a developer, and we don't have that. So over here we have validates. So we test that there's a title and its presence um, is true and it's unique. So it checks that there is a title and it's unique. And we also check that there's a description, and we also have a GitHub link, which is we using here a format and a width with a hash. Um, so the format has a attribute width and a message, and over here we're using uh, regex to find out if the link starts with HTTP in colon // GitHub. So that's what I'm testing for. Okay. So over here we have the views, right? This is MVC structure. So models, views, controllers, and so there's a separation of concerns and easier to understand. So I have a form for edit, I have a form for index, and I have a form for new and for show. Okay? This is for login. And over here briefly is the layout. So in the layout, I incorporated navigation. So for instance, if a person isn't signed in, it's gonna show log in or sign up, but it's not gonna show sign out if they never logged in or never signed up. Um, so if a person is logged in, it's gonna show log out. If a person is logged out, it's gonna show log in, and it's gonna show sign up, but not sign out. It's conditional based, right? Um, so that's what this does, right? What the yield does is um, the things that we want from the views. It kind of uses this navigation and it puts the information here. So instead of yield, it's going to be the information we want. Okay? Um, so this is the table, okay? And this is how the schema looks. Okay? Um, so the user, like I mentioned, has a username and has a password. And the applications has a title, description, GitHub link, and this is the developer ID is the uh, foreign key. Okay, and configure you. So we're requiring the environment, and all the applications have to be listed here for the controllers to work correctly, and for the whole app to work correctly. So for the main one, we use run here, and for all others, we use the term use. Okay. Um, so in order to start the app, I can shotgun then we go to localhost colon 9393. Okay. So we're presented with this page, and we click sign up, and so I make Dimitri Amalia, which is a nice sounding name, and don't work. So the password. Right. And now it immediately signs me in, shows me a list of applications. There aren't any right now. Click new application. Like my first application. Um, this is my first application. And over here, um, let's say if I put this, there you go. Now I can see my first application. Right? And you see I have an edit and delete button. So if I log out, sayonara style, and I put this, I do not have no edit or delete. Right? So yeah, that's about it. Um, this takes me here. Um, I can log in again. And of course, you can make multiple applications. So right there, yes, it says internet. If something is blank, let's say that. Wouldn't pass if the password is wrong. And yeah, that's all, folks. Hope you liked it. Oh, also wanted to share. I made some great notes. This is shared among my cohort. How many pages is it? There's a lot of stuff. Um, Special thanks to Mr. Dakota Martinez. Amazing instructor. He took the time to proofread this. And another thanks to Valerie and all my classmates who have contributed to this as well. And yeah, so I hope you liked it. Um, there was a thing I wanted to find out. almost 5 in the morning, so a little bit not as sharp as I usually am. So yeah, so after redirecting, it's temporarily stored. Yeah, so that was almost right. So I am. I hope you like this video. Hope it's not too long. Hope you don't have to transcribe. All right, that's it. Thank you.